Hey guys, what's up? This is Ryan123 here, and today we're back with more Daggerfall. Now, real quick before we start the video, I just wanted you guys to let me know if you actually enjoy these or find these useful. I know a lot of people don't play this game, but I personally think it's one of my most favorite Elder Scrolls games. I haven't played Morrowind, but I played Oblivion and Skyrim, but I've played an Arena and of course Daggerfall, and I've had a lot of fun with all of them, and out of all of them, probably Daggerfall has the potential to be one of my favorites. Right now I'm having a really tough time choosing between Skyrim and Oblivion, because they each, I know that's kind of weird because they're kind of really different, but each of them has things I like and don't like. I've sunk more hours into Oblivion, but I've played Skyrim more recently. But anyways, yeah, just what I wanted to say. If you guys enjoy these, let me know. Like, if you want a tutorial on how to get Daggerfall yourself, because it's not that easy, because you have to deal with DOS and everything, but it's not that bad. I'll show. There's two ways you can do it. You can download a program that sets it up for you, or you can set it up manually. It does exactly the same thing. There's really no advantage to doing it either way, but except one being easier and one making you feel more like a DOS pro. But the DOS way really isn't that hard. Like, seriously, it's not that hard at all. So yeah, today I guess what we're going to be doing is I'm going to show you guys like the class creation, and I know we kind of saw this in the other video I was doing, but in that one we picked a custom class. So in this one I'm going to show you guys how to get like your start, because a huge part of Daggerfall is I feel like out of all the games it's the most role play friendly. Like, you can literally do whatever you want. I don't know if I mentioned this in the last video, but you can seriously like completely fail the main quest if you like. Once you get out of the starting dungeon, you get a letter to meet someone somewhere, and if you don't do that within a month, you'll get another letter that says like, alright, I'll be here for 2 more weeks, but you gotta get over here. And if you don't do that, the main quest is done, it's gone. So you can completely like say, nope, I'm living in Daggerfall, forget you, Uriel Septum. But so yeah, but today I'm gonna show you how to get started in your role-playing experience. So obviously, like always, the first thing you're gonna do is pick your class. So we're just going to go through all these. Basically, Bretons are like magic-y. As you can see here, they're more resistant to magic, and they are great in all the magical arts. Skyrim is of course the Nords. They're like the warriors. They're resistant to frost, and they are pretty much resistant to most like physical attacks as well. Nords is one of my favorite things to play as, but I think for this, just because we're making a class, will be something else. The only place you can't be a race is you can't be an Imperial, but then there's Hammerfell, you can be a Red Guard. These guys are the best with weapons. So, you know, basically these are your warrior guys if you don't want to be a Nord. Then the Black Marsh, you have your Argonians, you're immune to poison, you can breathe underwater, and you're pretty like thievery, you're good at spell casting. I'm just kind of summing this up. What's that say? Elsewhere? Sorry, I'm not the best at these pronunciations. But these are the Khajiits. So basically Khajiits, you know, are sneaky. They're in this game, they're good at climbing. They're good in, yeah, they're basically your thief class. So if you want to be a thief, either Argonians or Khajiits, probably Khajiits would be your best bet. Valenwood, those are your wood elves, you know, so they're good with bows, of course, as you would expect with an elf. They're are apparently pretty good at thieving as well. I did not know that. I don't play as a lot of the elves. I could care less about elves. This is a high elf. They're immune to paralyzing, so that's really good. But we are actually not going to be playing as him, and I'm going to show you a couple ways you can set up your character. But yeah, they're good at spells as well. So it's kind of like Oblivion, and it's not as intense as Arena. Like, pretty much all the classes are good. Did we do? Yeah, we did Hammerfell. Oh, we didn't do Morrowind. Those are the Dark Elves, of course, if you've played Morrowind. Warriors, mages, all pretty much pretty good at everything. So yeah. Oh, High Rock. We did High Rock. So basically, if you guys don't know, Daggerfall takes place right here. This is called the Iliac Bay. And so Daggerfall's like right here, and it just takes place around here. And so, let's see, what do we want to play as? We can basically be whatever we want. I think I'm going to be a red guard, because I've never been a red guard before. Then you can pick your gender. I usually play as a male, because I am a male. We are going to... This one, of course, is the survey thing, but we're going to pick a custom class, and today we are going to make our own class, and we are going to call this, I don't know, the Rye Guy class, who cares? And so basically, oh, I forgot to hit any. Basically, everything here you get to mess with. So these you don't really get to mess with yet. We'll get to those, but the first thing you're going to want to do is go through and set up your primary skills. These are the skills that will level you up the fastest, and the ones that you are going to use the most. So yeah, if you're going to be a warrior like I am here, you're going to want to pick one weapon to use. So I love long blade, so I'm going to pick long blade, but you can either do axe or blunt weapon or short blade. Short blade's kind of worthless, but... And then if you're a warrior class, you're going to want critical strike. Of course, if you're like a mage, you can do different schools of magic. Or if you're going to play as an archer, you can do archery. But basically, these are just the skills that will level you up the fastest, and you feel like you're going to be using the most. So I think I'm going to do medical. That's just like healing when you rest, because you rest all the time and you heal all the time. By no means am I like a class aficionado. I'm just kind of showing you guys how to use this tool. I'm not really showing you like any OP classes. So basically, I'm just going to go through the rest of this and pick random classes. If you see in here though, you'll see a ton of like language looking ones. Those skills are basically worthless, so don't worry about them. Basically, the idea is you can like sneak up on an enemy and talk to them and convince them not to kill you. Let's do running. So I think the way this works is these three level you up. The top two of this one will level you up. And then this one levels you up, whatever you put here. So here I like to put, I'll put dodging here. And then we'll go, sorry, I'm trying to do this pretty quick. Let's do stealth. Do I want to do stealth? Yeah, what the heck. Like I said, we aren't trying to make an OP class. I'm just more trying to show you how this works. And maybe we want some range, so we'll do archery. And then I'm going to want some magic. So we're going to do restoration. So down here, this is basically, you know, these skills start out higher than 5, so you're definitely gonna want swimming, or else you'll probably die. And then we want mercantile. That'll just get you better prices. It's a good skill to have. I want... Almost done, guys. And then I want... Oh, which one is it? Mysticism, because that'll be good for teleporting. And then lastly, let's just do backstabbing just cuz. So that looks good. Like I said, this isn't like anything OP. Now, let's go ahead and edit our special disadvantages. I like to do disadvantages first. So now, well, I guess I should go through all these with you. Basically, let's just go through all these real quick. School of Magic, obvious. A language, climbing, helps you climb. The higher your climbing level, like the less likely you'll be to fall off the wall when you're climbing. Daedric's a language, destruction is a school of magic. Etiquette is your ability to talk to people. The higher your etiquette, the more like you'll be better at speaking to people and people will like you better. It kind of bases off your personality skill over here. Illusion is a school of magic, hand to hand. Language, jumping is obvious, you jump higher. Lockpicking's obvious. In this game though, you can just beat doors with your sword till they open, at least in dungeons. Or you can do a open spell, and any door in town, no matter like what level it is, will open if you cast a level 1 open spell on it, so that's nice. Pickpocket, language, and a school of magic. And then streetwise, that's another one of those skills that it helps you deal more with the like peasants than the nobles. But we are going to switch this back to archery just cuz that's what I want. So yeah, that's all the skills, and then we're gonna want to do these. Now actually, see this dagger thing over here? This will show like how your person will level up, and the more easy it is to level up, sorry, it doesn't actually make it easier to level up, it just makes it like, this means the game will be easy, this means the game will be hard, sorry. And if the game is easy, it does make you level up slower, but if it's more difficult, it doesn't really make you level up any faster. So what I like to do is, because I think the game is absolutely ridiculous with all this, is you give yourself a critical weakness to paralysis, to poison, and to disease. Now basically what that means is that we are extremely susceptible to all these, and as you can see, it is really easy for us to level up, like, even though it doesn't really matter, because it's really hard the gameplay is. I kinda got that backwards when I was explaining it earlier. This scale is based on how easy it is to level up. This side doesn't matter so much as if it was on this side. But, so basically, and then let's say damage, that just means you take damage from things like sunlight or holy places, so kind of like vampire effects, but they don't make you a vampire. And then darkness powered magery, you can do it so you can't use magic in daylight, or you lower the ability in daylight. It's very interesting. Or you can forbid armor types, so like you can forbid like chain, leather, plate, which you can do leather because leather's kind of worthless and you get chain really quick, unless you want light armor, I guess. Material, so like Daedric, Ebony, Orcish, Dwarvish, whatever you want. And all these will just lower the dagger on the rating. Shield types, weaponry, intelligence to regen, inability to regen spell points. That one's a pretty big disability, but I'm gonna take that off. that means the only way to get back spell points is by either drinking potions or by absorbing magic. Light powered magic, that basically means you can't cast it in the dark, or low tolerance, that's the same thing as critical weakness, it's just not as extreme. And then phobia means you deal less damage against these kind of enemies. So this is all I'm going to have for my weaknesses, and now I'm going to edit my advantages. Now, here is what I like to do. I like to do immunity to magic. And basically what that does is not only does it give you a little bit of a boost to magic resistance, but it makes you like pretty much immune to disease, poison, and paralysis, those things we put ourselves to be very weak to earlier. And so what this does, like I said, is it just makes us immune to those, so you don't have to deal with them. Poison and disease are so annoying in this game, especially if you're just starting out. And if you want, like, you can go through the first dungeon with all this and then like save edit it out later. They have a lot of good save editors you can use, but I just like to do that so you don't get your butt handed to you for the first little while. You can use acute hearing, which means you can hear monster noises from further away. Adrenaline rush means you're more powerful or something. Athleticism, bonus to hit, so you can be like OP. Expertise in, so like I can say I have expertise in Longblade because that's the weapon I'm going to be using. That means you'll just be better with it. Increased magery, you're better at... Oh, sorry, this has to do with your spell points. So, for example, 3 times in spell points. So this takes your intelligence level and it multiplies it by 3 to 1.7, 1.5 to your spell points, or you can just have yours be your straight up spell points. And then rapid healing, regenerate health, I want in darkness and light, wall, immerse in water, or just whenever, so I want whenever. And like I said, I'm just more going through these than making an actual class. Yeah, bonus to hit makes you like better when you're hitting certain things. Resistance is kind of like immunity, but it's a little bit better, so you can be like, let's say you're a red guard but you want the Nord immunity or resistance to frost, you can do that. And then spell absorption, which gives you a chance to absorb spells and turn that into magicka. And as you can see, we've got the dagger kind of back up to average, so we'll leave it at that. And then I like to put this number here up to about 20. Really, you can put it anywhere you want, and as you can see, it makes leveling up harder or easier, but I like it at about 20. And as you can see, the game is just a little bit above average, so if you want, you can get rid of some of your disabilities or add another disadvantage. I'm probably going to get rid of spell absorption because I'm not really playing a mage. But you see, that one has a huge jump to it. And so, yeah, then we're going to edit our reputations lastly. And this has to be, like, pretty balanced. So let's say... Gosh, I forget where you have to click. There we go. You click on the bar. So let's say you want to be less liked by the underworld, so like the Thieves Guild and the Dark Brotherhood, but you want to be more liked by nobility. So you must distribute 0 points. Whatever you put into somewhere, you have to take out of somewhere else, which is fine. And I don't really like to play bad-aligned characters. You can, so you can increase it with the underworld, but just remember that you have to have it balanced out somewhere else. But if you plan on doing the main quest, you probably want to somehow increase your favor with the nobility, because of the fact that the nobility is it helps with advancing the main quest. Peasants, merchants is get you better stuff. But then when you're done here, just go ahead and hit exit. And now this is where you generate like your starting story. And I know this is a long video, but we're almost done. And this is really helpful. I wish I would have known this the last time I played a Daggerfall video with you guys. So you don't want to do a fast start because that's lame. But you have to answer these questions. So you have a certain degree of training with Longblade. What thieving skill have you been studying the longest? You can pick one of these. I'm gonna do critical strike. What motivates you in a life of adventure? You want to say helping others, because that will get you better reputation with the commoners, I believe. Your preferred criminal method is, and basically these just do different things. So I don't know, I guess I'll say mugging. Given your choice of reward, you would most likely choose an ebony. So I would recommend you always pick an ebony dagger here, because some enemies can only be hit, like I think Daedra can only be hit by ebony or daedric weapons. So if you're running through a dungeon and you run into a Daedra, obviously you won't do that till higher levels, but you don't have an ebony weapon, you're kinda hosed. So I would always pick an ebony dagger, just so you always have a weapon that can deal with pretty much any enemy. One of the most important survival skills you picked is how to, you can say any of these, haggle with merchants. I don't know what that one means actually, but heal simple wounds. I'm going to say haggle with merchants so I can get better prices. You are an active child, blank, than anyone else in your age, so obviously these will get different things. I'm going to say faster because you run kind of slow in this game. You can get most of the things you want from stealing from. This is interesting. I haven't gotten this question before. They're giving me like a lot of thief questions. I didn't even... Oh, maybe it's because sneak is one of my high up stats. But we'll say... this might lower our... reputation. That's the word I'm looking for. This might lower our reputation with one of these, so I'm going to do sages and mages because I don't really care about the mage guild for right now. One skill you could not work without must be... Let's do... Again, I think this just improves one of the skills. So let's do the dodging again, just cause. As a child your nickname was. These will again deal with different things. I don't remember what Scrapper does. That one's swimming, this one's jumping, running, or climbing. We'll do climbing, why not? And then what god, if any, do you worship? These will give you a little bit more favor with one of the temples in the game, so depending on where you want to live. So I know, I'm pretty sure Akatosh, or is it RK? I don't remember. Basically, you can just pick one or pick none. I think Akatosh might be Daggerfall. Kinnereth, I think, is Wainwrith. So just depending on which temple you want to join, if you don't know, you can look it up. Or you can just say none, like I always do. And then your Fair health as a child has made you. Now, these ones don't really matter if you choose one of these, because we have that immunity to magic. So I'm going to pick less resistant to disease. And as you can see, we have a higher thing with merchants and scholars now, or commoners and scholars now. And one thing I don't remember if I mentioned, doesn't affect the immunity to diseases, or magic does not affect, it doesn't affect loop, I don't know. It doesn't affect werewolf disease, so you still have that 0.06% chance of contracting werewolf disease. Let's be... I don't know. We'll be this guy because he kind of looks like Hagrid. Yeah, and then you just roll your stats like always. If you get a roll you like, you can save it and keep rolling. I like to get like a 60 strength, or around there. And then you can just dump, and then you can just give up and dump whatever the heck. Like I said, I'm not going to be playing this character. I just wanted to show you guys how all this works. And if you have... Okay, there we go. Now I'm going to hit OK. And then these you just dump in or whatever. So with these I like to get them all at least to 30. But of course I'm going to dump most of my points in the long blade. And maybe I'll dump one more in there. And then these you can get over like 21 or whatever you feel. I like to just make them all kind of the same, depending on what I think I'll be using the most. And then these you can just dump in as you see fit. Actually, I'll probably put that there instead. And that looks good. So then again, this is just your difficulty level. We'll do high because I like high. And then you can change anything, and then you hit OK. And then you can watch this. And then that's when your shipwrecks and you're chucked into the traditional starting dungeon. Like always. So that's the main backstory. I feel like it was pretty understandable. But yep, as you can see, here we are. We started with our ebony dagger and stuff, and we have these two different swords. So yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about, I think. So if you guys would like to see more, please be sure to leave a comment down below, or leave a like, or whatever you feel like doing. And please be sure to subscribe for future content. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.